and you have been doing the job of securing the networks, the computer systems. For this conference by Mr. Rajshekhar, this beautiful weather of Bangalore. It's better to be outside than sitting inside the conference room. In any case, generally, in a layman's perspective, the words cyber security, cyber crime, cyber safety, these are all used very loosely and kind of interchangeable. Although those who know the nuances, they know that there is a world of difference between these words. While you are the cyber security experts, we in police department generally deal with the cyber crimes. But then probably all are interconnected also, and one leads to the other. There is a cause and effect. If the cyber security protocols are not followed properly by the companies, or be it the companies or even the government sectors also, there will be hacking and other things, and there is a crime wherein we come in. Not only at the companies or government level, even at the individual level also, every person today generally will hold a smartphone. The moment he is having a smartphone, he is vulnerable for various types of cyber attacks. He may be knowing, he may not be knowing. From that perspective, even from a common man's perspective also, there is a need for awareness about the cyber security as well as awareness about the various types of cyber crimes that are occurring in the society, the current trends and other things. For that, both of us have to work together. We know the perspective from the what type of crimes are occurring in the society. You know the perspective from what type of security precautions have to be taken. In police department, we have what is called as the intelligence setup or the intelligence department. I have been there for quite some time and I like that job. So it's our job to predict, analyze, assess and see what kind of threats or other things are there for the society as a whole. Probably your job is similar as far as the cyber world is concerned or cyber networks are concerned. Now, generally, what type of cyber crimes are we talking about? What are the current trends? Probably most of you will be knowing, but then probably, as I put it, there could be a very high end of cyber crimes wherein you chip in. Beyond that also, there is what we call the cyber terrorism. Probably I would give that the highest this thing, wherein probably non-state actors may be involved, or sometimes even the states may be trying to penetrate or hack into other countries' systems and security architecture and other things. Probably that is the highest nature of crime which we can think of. And then we have the other things like hacking, especially hacking of systems, stealing of data from one company and taking it to the other and other things. But more than that or beyond that, we have the day-to-day crimes, which I feel it is growing exponentially in the society nowadays. These are what I term it as the greed-based crimes. The greed of the person to make some quick buck, to make some fast money, generally they um, fall or they become victims of these crimes. The cyber criminals know the vulnerabilities or the psyche of the people, and they try to exploit and try to make some fast buck. Probably, as long as the society or the people do not understand or appreciate that there is no free meal in the world or even free sex in the world, these crimes will occur. Whatever we may try to do, whatever we may try to prevent it, prevention is extremely difficult. So also the detection part. Nowadays, we are moving from the bloody crimes to the bloodless crimes. There is a British maxim, old British maxim, which says, nothing is a crime unless there is blood. Those were the days. Unless there is blood, there is no crime. There should be some attacks, there should be some violence, there should be some blood thrown in the crime scene. Only then it amounts to a crime. Nowadays, we have moved far, far, far away from that one. We are moving from bloody crimes to the bloodless crimes. They are not only bloodless, they are faceless, they are borderless, they are anonymous, and they are all pervasive. You cannot imagine how and where and in what way they will try to use the various vulnerabilities in the, not only in the systems, but also the vulnerabilities of the human beings and try to commit these crimes. I'll give one or two examples, very, very recent examples. After I taking over as the Commissioner of Police Bangalore, there have been 2 suicides. Suicides of young people. One is probably a student studying engineering, probably 3rd year or so. You might have read in the newspapers, those who are from Bangalore. He committed suicide because of the loan he has taken. You must have learnt or read in the papers about these scams being done by these various loan apps, most of them from our unfriendly border countries. We call them Chinese loan apps and all that. So he had taken a loan of hardly about 38,000, and when they started harassing him online and other things, he committed suicide. Within 3 days or so, another person committed suicide. Again, another loan app scam. That is the youngsters taking the route of suicide and other things, who falling victims to cyber crimes. On the other end, just recently, probably a week back, we have a case wherein a very senior citizen, probably in his late 60s or 70s, he has again fallen victim to a cyber crime. Now, what type of a crime it is? He had taken some insurance maybe 10, 15, 20 years back, and then suddenly he starts getting calls that your insurance has lapsed. You may have to renew it. So you may have to pay a certain amount. Now he paid. Again, there was a call that there is some problem. The transaction has not happened. So he paid some again. This continued for some time. Now, can you imagine how much money he has lost in this? It is 5 crores, ladies and gentlemen. And the fun factor or the irony of it all is, this insurance amount he had already availed. It was matured and he has already taken that money, probably 5-7 years back. So these are the 2 sections which are highly vulnerable. One is the youngsters, the teenagers who fall victims for this type of scams because they want to take money, invest in shares, do some this thing, startups and other things. On the other end, we have the senior citizen. After 60, your logical thinking, your analysis skills, they reduce. And many times, they start believing persons very easily. So they become more and more vulnerable. I also mentioned that people should understand there is no free sex in the world. Reason being, many a times we see people coming to us. There was a video call, there was some nude girl in the video, and they start communicating with her. They fall prey to their uh, uh, tantrums or the tricks, undress, become nude themselves. It all gets recorded. Then they start getting uh, calls, what we call sextortion, saying that your nude pictures will be sent to your near and dear, your relatives, friends. We have taken all your contact details, and they would have also probably. And again, they start extorting. So these are the type of crimes with which we are dealing with on a daily basis. The number is increasing exponentially. If you see the statistical figures, uh, probably Karnataka stands third in the country. Nearly about 1,500 such crimes get registered in the country every day, and it's growing. Many times, this may be only a tip of the iceberg because majority of the people will not prefer for a case because of their own, shame or because of their own this thing. And many times, it will not help also, especially with regard to these financial scams, financial crimes which occur. Now, once the money has gone, it's gone. You cannot. It's very, very difficult to, retrieve the money. And then most of the times they will be interested in getting the money back than, a police registering a case and apprehending the accused. They are not interested in that. They are more worried about. These are the cases, basically, credit card getting compromised or so many other things, so whatever uh, is possible in the realm of technology. There is also another aspect of cybercrime probably you should be aware of that is much more dangerous, much more serious, and that is the child pornography. The online child sexual exploitation, which happens. As parents, as seniors in the society, we should be aware of these kind of things. Because if we start knowing uh, what all is possible or what all has happened in this realm, it's extremely painful and sickening. Our youngsters, especially teenagers, fall prey to some, uh, online avatars of some predator, and a lot of exchange of photographs and other things takes place. It's very sickening. There is also online sextortions, sexting, so many other things, which further leads to cyberbullying. These are some of the various types of crimes which we are dealing with. And how capable are we in dealing with? We should also understand that. The landscape of digital threats or these type of crimes is growing so immensely that our department's ability to stay ahead in this game is every day it is challenged. Every day we come out with something new thing happening. So we have to understand, learn new facets of, tackling crimes or handling crimes. But in most of the cases, it is not only the police's ability to crack the cases, but also the cooperation and coordination which we require from the other agencies. It could be the banks, it could be the intermediaries, it could be the other service providers, and most of the times, these intermediaries, their servers are located elsewhere out of the country, and many times, as you know, because of use of proxy servers, VPN, and other things, it becomes extremely, extremely difficult to trace the culprits. Keeping this in mind, a few things in Karnataka we have tried. Now it has become a best case and it has been adopted across the country. One such thing is the uh, cyber incident report before reporting an FIR. It was started in Bengaluru city, maybe a few, probably 1 or 2 years back, and now it has been adopted across the country. Whenever a person comes across or becomes victim of any cyber crime, especially involving money, the first thing he needs to do is to call the dedicated number 1930. That is the world, nation's single number 1930. And then the moment it is, he makes a call, we'll collect the details of his bank account and other things, and what type of crime he has been, involved in. And then we write in the back end, the emails will go to the concerned banks for freezing the accounts. This is an important step. That's why we have come up with the concept of golden hour now. Within 1 hour of you being a victim of such financial fraud, if you can inform the police through this dedicated number 1930, the chances of you are getting money is more. Just like in accidents, we come out with the golden hour principle. Within 1 hour, if the person is shifted to the hospital, the chance of his survival is very high. So when it is done, we try to freeze the account, not only the primary account, that is his account, or to the account to which he has paid the money, but also to the secondary accounts. Because generally, what these criminals are doing is that once the money is transferred from one account to the other, they push it, they move it to multiple accounts, what we call mule accounts, because of the loopholes in the KYC norms and other things. They get such accounts created very easily, bank accounts, and they move it to multiple accounts and multiple locations and withdraw the money. Once the money is gone, you cannot do much, even if you trace the accused or arrest the accused, which again is a very difficult task. Uh, but even then, you won't be able to recover the money. When the money is not there, the person is not happy. The person who has lost the money, he wants his money back. So this has been helping us, and even from the point of figures also, we have been able to recover huge amount of money with the cooperation of the banks, and return to the person who has lost the money. Registering of case is secondary. If he is still interested, he can go to our cyber police stations and register the cases.